the fear of doing it, how to overcome it. Good morning. That is what we are talking about today, just on route to early morning one. So, fear. Fear is a really interesting one, right? We've all had fears. Let me know in the comments if you have or haven't. And what it was, from public speaking to being a dad, like everything has fear attached to it, to starting something new. Start going to a first jiu-jitsu class, going to a first taekwondo class, going anywhere new, just job interviews. All that stuff provides you with fear. Morning, Sandra. Early bird. Provides you with fear, starting anything. And flying, planes provide a lot of people with fear. And I was reading actually, a strategy that people use to help with flying as well, about how a lack of understanding of the physics was causing some people to have more fears than not. Morning, Julie. And it got me thinking how interesting that is. So once they understood more the physics around flying, they felt a bit more like, this isn't just a random event where I'm up in the air and no one knows what's going on. There's actually a lot of physics involved in this. And I guess it's the same with anything. When you understand more knowledge around it, you can make better informed decisions and you understand how it works. It's less confusing. And I'm bringing this up because it's very similar in the nutrition world, right? So you might hear that you have to avoid carbs to lose weight, or low carb diets are better for weight loss. You might hear that statement, and that might be true in certain populations. Potentially could help with hunger levels, but without understanding why it might be working so well in that population, we can generalize it to everything. Then it's just like, they said that worked last time, they said that worked last time, and then it's just a bit confusing. And then it's no wonder we just go, sod it, what, life's too short. We kind of say things like that. But then when you think about life's too short, we could also say, what do we want to do with our life? Like, how fit do we want to be? Do we want to climb mountains, be out of breath, be there for grandkids? All these things that come up in conversations to me that I get every day. And that's, if I'm honest, has actually made me turn my head a bit more to longevity. And I know what you're thinking, even at your age. Yeah, even at my age, starting to think, in terms of regrets, in terms of fear. Good morning, Sarah. How many regrets do you want to have later down? So, and living your last day like it's kind of today. Nothing's guaranteed tomorrow. There's only so many times we can say tomorrow. But anyway, going back to where we are, we think about the nutrition side of things. That was a tangent, wasn't it? And how overwhelming it can be, but mainly because there's no context behind it. It does actually all make sense. And that's why on a week on Wednesday at 7:45 p.m. A week on Wednesday at 7:45 p.m. I'll be live in the free group that I have, in my free group, talking about all these things. Why we lose energy in the afternoon and what to do about it. How and what happens when you eat carbs, fats, proteins. How clinical conditions like diabetes can impact this and what happens then. All these things will be going over, so you can understand that when you hear something next, when someone says, don't eat that because of this, we can go, hang on a minute, that's because of this, so does this apply to me? Yes, no. And when you've got that knowledge, I do truly think that it's easier to understand better. We can make better decisions. We're less kind of reactive to news and the media about, we do this, you can't do this, you can do this. Not to mention the protein and longevity and aging side of things, because I know a few of you have spoke to me about that. You'd like to know more information about that, and it is fascinating how, for example, as we age, from about 40 onwards, we need more protein or higher quality protein to get the same effect as, say, a 20-year-old would get in terms of how your body utilises protein for recovery, for muscle, from skin, hair, nails. That's all protein synthesis, whether it's repairing your skin or repairing a muscle from exercising. And if you think how important that is in terms of recovery from exercise, the better you recover, probably the better you feel, the more confident you feel. Then the more you can potentially do, the more you can do, the more good endorphins you get flooding around your body, which is great, which then impacts what you can eat, maybe whether we eat with our emotions or not. You can go into this all day. So if you do want in on that talk next Wednesday, 7:45 p.m, just comment with nutrition below, because I'm going to be talking through it in a bit more detail then. In the meantime, I need to be in the group for that. In the meantime, what's one thing that if you did this week would make everything else easier or unnecessary? One thing that if you did this week would make everything else easier or unnecessary. Hope that helps. Make a great week, and I'll see you soon. Take care.